unlock your world one word at a time, because language isn't just about learning, it's about living. Let's get started. Wonderful listeners, welcome back to the Languages Pedagogy Podcast, where we explore the art and science of language learning. Today's episode is one I've been looking forward to for quite some time already, and I know many of you have too. It's fun, it's immersive, and it's something we all enjoy: learning languages through movies and TV shows. Now, imagine this. You're curled up on the couch with your favorite snack, watching a thrilling drama or a heartwarming comedy. But this isn't just entertainment. It's a language lesson in disguise. Learning through movies and TV shows isn't just effective. It's also one of the most enjoyable ways to immerse yourself in a new language. In this episode, we're going to dive deep into how you can turn your favorite films and series into powerful tools for language learning. Here we'll cover 1. Why movies and TV shows are such effective learning tools. 2. How to choose the right content based on your language level and interest. 3. Practical techniques to turn passive watching into active learning. 4. Tools and resources to enhance your experience. 5. How to maintain consistency and make this a regular part of your language learning routine. This episode is packed with actionable tips, creative ideas, and examples to help you use your screen time wisely and effectively. So grab your popcorn and let's get started.
Audio Jungle.
Let's begin by exploring why movies and TV shows are so effective for language learning. One of the biggest challenges language learners face is exposure, hearing the language in its natural rhythm, with authentic expressions and colloquialisms. Textbooks are great for grammar and vocabulary, but they rarely capture the way people actually speak. Movies and TV shows, on the other hand, immerse you in real-world language. When you watch a movie in your target language, you're not just hearing words, you're experiencing how they're used in context. You hear the same tone, or you hear the tone, the emotion, the cultural nuances behind every phrase. For instance, in Spanish, the word vale, which is okay, is used constantly in casual conversation. But in Spain, let's get that clear, this vale is mostly used in Spain. But you might not come across it in a traditional language class. Watching a Spanish movie like Ocho Apellidos Vascos, which is Spanish affair, gives you a sense of how and when to use phrases like this naturally. Another reason movies and TV shows are so effective is because they're multi-sensory. You're hearing the words, seeing the body language, and often reading subtitles at the same time. This combination reinforces what you're learning and helps you retain it better. Now, let's talk about choosing the right content. Not all the movies and TV shows are equally useful for language learning, and what works for you will depend on your level and goals. If you're a beginner, it's better to start with content designed for children or language learners. Shows like Peppa Pig or Dora the Explorer or Dora the Exploradora are great because they use simple vocabulary and clear pronunciation. Another excellent option is movies with lots of visual cues, like animated films. For example, watching Coco in Spanish not only introduces you to the language, but also immerses you in Mexican or Latin American culture. For intermediate learners, the goal is to challenge yourself while still understanding the main ideas. Look for TV shows with episodic storylines, so you don't get lost if you miss a few details. Sitcoms like Friends or Modern Family are ideal because the humor is often physical and the language is conversational. Watching Friends in German, for instance, can teach you slang and idiomatic expressions while keeping you entertained. Advanced learners can dive into complex dramas, documentaries, or historical films. The key here is to expose yourself to varied accents, dialects, and advanced vocabulary. For instance, watching La Casa de Papel, which is Money Heist, in Spanish, introduces you to diverse Spanish accents and fast-paced dialogue, which can help you refine your listening skills. Once you've chosen your content, it's time to turn passive watching into active learning. Watching movies and TV shows passively is entertaining, but it doesn't guarantee improvement. To make it an effective learning tool, you need to engage actively with what you're watching. Start with subtitles if you're a beginner. Watch this with subtitles in your native language. This helps you follow the story while picking up words and phrases. As you progress, switch to subtitles in the target language. This reinforces listening and reading skills simultaneously. Finally, advanced learners can try watching without subtitles to test their comprehension. A powerful technique is shadowing. This involves pausing the show and repeating what the characters say, mimicking their pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. For example, if you're watching Emily in Paris in French, try repeating the lines in real time. Shadowing not only improves pronunciation but also helps you internalize sentence structures. Another tip is to create flashcards from the vocabulary you encounter. Let's say you're watching Narcos in Spanish and you hear the phrase ¿Qué pasó?, which means what happened. Write it down, along with its context, and review it later. Apps like Anki or Quizlet can help you organize and revisit these words. Repetition is key. Don't be afraid to watch the same episode or movie multiple times. The first time, focus on understanding the plot. The second time, pay attention to vocabulary and expressions. By the third or fourth viewing, you'll notice details you missed earlier, reinforcing your learning. Using external tools can enhance your experience. Extensions like language learning with Netflix allow you to see dual subtitles, your native language and the target language, and highlight phrases for review. Platforms like Lingopie are specially designed for language learners, offering shows and interactive subtitles tailored to your level. Consistency is crucial. Make watching movies or TV shows in your target language a regular part of your routine. Even 20 minutes a day can make a big difference over time. You might designate Sunday afternoons as your foreign film time or watch one episode of a series in your target language before bed. One thing I love about this approach is how it makes language learning feels less like work and more like play. You're not just studying, you're experiencing the culture, the humor, and the stories that make the language come alive. Let's not forget about the cultural insights you gain. Language isn't just about words, it's about the people who speak them. Watching movies and TV shows gives you a window to their world. For example, watching Parasite in Korean reveals societal dynamics and cultural nuances that you wouldn't learn from a textbook. Similarly, a series like The Crown in English introduces you to the British history and the subtleties of British English. And as we approach the end of this episode, I want to emphasize the joy of this method. Learning through movies and TV shows reminds us why we started learning languages in the first place: to connect, to explore, and to enjoy. So here's your homework. Choose a movie or TV show in your target language and start watching this week. Use the techniques we discussed, engage actively. Take notes, shadow the dialogue, and most importantly, have fun. And before we're heading to the last part of this episode, I just want to remind you that new episodes drop every Monday and Friday, so make sure to tune in weekly for your dose of thought-provoking conversations. You can also find our show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Don't forget to pay a visit to our website, mikeenglishonline.com, where you will find tons of learning or teaching materials. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and follow us for more. And thank you for joining me today. I hope this episode inspires you to turn your screen time into learning time and fall in love with the process all over again. Until next time, stay curious, keep practicing, and embrace the magic of language.